First of all, the work that I've been doing, mindset shifts, meditation, Reiki, taking action, doing the thing that I want to do, working on building my business, actually taking steps, getting clients. That all helps because now I have evidence that what I think of myself is true. I am a good person. I do know what I'm doing. I do have plenty to learn, but that doesn't mean I don't know what I'm doing right now or that I'm not qualified. So shake that energy off. Welcome to the Energy Within podcast, helping you to embrace your weird, beat imposter syndrome, and take action on your soul's purpose. My name is Carrie Jokala. I am your host. I am a Reiki master teacher, a fitness instructor, a wife, a mom to 2 little boys, and this is episode 182, and of course we're still in the car. I'm sure you could hear my doors lock as the car started to drive. I should say as I started to drive the car. The bumps in the road, the turn signal, aka the blinker. But anyway, this is episode 182, and I went back and forth on if I should make this an episode or not, because the point in sharing this is not to try to have you go to bat for me or defend me or anything like that, or to give this person more energy than they deserve. I attracted my first troll last week, and I'm pretty sure that part of the reason is related to a couple weeks ago on the podcast when I started to briefly mention about handling negativity when you start to go after your goals. And I mentioned that maybe I would talk about that in the next week's episode, and then I didn't. I felt called to talk about a different topic instead and push that one off, knowing that I would still probably talk about it. But here's the thing. One of the reasons why I didn't record an episode about dealing with negativity and dealing with trolls online and all that was because I realized I didn't really have a lot of experience with that. I've had to block one person that I can think of outside of, we're not counting when I've blocked like spam accounts or things like that have shown up. And technically, actually, I think I may have blocked two people. One person I sort of had counted as my first troll, but it wasn't on my own videos. I had commented on someone else's video, and that person, out of all of the comments on that entire video, there were probably at least 100, if not more comments, found mine and decided to pick on me. And I tried to shut it down, and this dude just kept going. So rather than continuing to engage, I blocked him. But last week I attracted my first troll on my own video. And like I said, I wasn't sure if I should bother talking about it because I don't want the point to be that I'm just, oh my God, look what happened. It's not meant to be that kind of a story, but rather an example of how to deal. Because that's one thing that a lot of us are afraid of. If you put yourself out there, you're likely to attract some negativity. People who are going to pick on you for either something you actually said or did, or they're going to find something completely irrelevant in your video to pick on you about, like the shape of your nose or something that you can't control, something that wasn't even the point of the video. And I happened to come across also, taking this as a sign that this is something to be talked about too. I came across a couple other videos of people sharing the dumb comments that they have gotten from trolls online, and they're just ridiculous. The things that people come up with to comment on. it makes no sense to me. Like, why are you even there on this person's video? Why are you taking time out of your life to leave a comment in the first place? Like, it's very easy to just continue scrolling. And if you really don't want that content in your feed, it's really easy to click the 3 little dots and tell the algorithm that you don't want to see either that person's content or content like that. But let me complete one of my other thoughts. The reason why I think this showed up is because I was thinking, well, how can I really talk about it if I don't have really a personal example? So here I am now with a very recent personal example. So you cannot see this comment online anymore because I deleted it. After it happened, I reached out to a couple good friends who I knew would just laugh about it with me and help me get that energy out of my own body and help me move on. Because, yeah, there's a little part of it that did sting, I'm not gonna lie. But it was pretty easy to shake off because of all of the work I've been doing in recent years. Me 10 years ago, or maybe even 5 years ago still, that would have maybe not crushed me exactly, but I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have been able to stop thinking about it for a long time. I'm going to try to go in order because I have a lot of thoughts here. I'm going to try not to jump around too much. So I'll just start at the beginning. So I was walking through the grocery store and took out my phone to look at my list to make sure that I wasn't going to forget anything. And the first thing I see is I have a notification from Facebook because, oddly enough, complete side note, as I share my reels from Instagram to then Facebook, they're doing decently well on Facebook, much better than they are on Instagram. So I attracted this troll on Facebook, and I see a notification that someone left a comment on my reel. And of course, it doesn't show me which reel it is right away. And I have to say, I instantly had like this negative feeling. And I wasn't exactly sure why I was thinking that way. I was trying to write it off, thinking that it was just my brain thinking of all the negative possibilities like we have a tendency to. And I tried to psych myself up a little bit before I actually went to look at it. Like, no, of course, why wouldn't it be a positive one? It's going to be fine. But I still had this feeling of almost dread. And I know now that was my intuition prepping me and letting me know that this was not a nice comment. So I'm only going to give you a brief description. You can look at it, find the reel itself if you want to on Instagram or Facebook. It uses the audio that says, "It's come to my attention that you don't know who I am." And then you do a transition where you go from not really looking your best or looking pulled together to now you got all your makeup on, your hair's done. People have been using that reel, or were. The trend, I think, is done now, but people were using that reel as a way to show just who you are and what you do, like an introduction. Like, if you've landed on my page, this is who I am and this is what I do. And it was just a cute, fun, snarky little audio to show who you are and what you do. So I open up and I see this comment that says something to the effect that a good spiritual leader would not put her ego to the forefront. That way no one cares who you are. And I debated if I should leave the comment, if I should delete it, if I should bother responding. I chose to respond. And I'll explain in a minute. And I simply said that it was only meant in fun. It was a way for me to embody my own confidence. And it was not meant to be taken so seriously. Have a nice day. Heart emoji. Well, she responded back. Simply said, not confidence, arrogance, and ego. And then I, against my better judgment, crafted an entire long response, still doing my best to remain nice, to stay professional, and I feel like I did. But when I hit send, it didn't post. because I couldn't actually reply to this person. And out of pure curiosity then, I clicked on the name to just go to the profile and be like, who is this person? Content not available. Which means she dropped her last comment and then blocked me. I was the one who got blocked in this situation. Okay, so let me explain. And again, I don't mean this. I hope this isn't coming across as gossipy or, oh my God, look at what this person did. That's not the point. You can use this to learn. That's the whole point of sharing this. I'm clearly not an expert at dealing with trolls because this is my first real troll on my own stuff. I don't count the other person that I blocked, not the person from the comment on the other person's video, but the person who was actually on my page that I ended up having to block, because that was a slightly different situation, although he definitely was a troll in a way. Anyway, meant to be a learning situation. So here's the thing, and here's what I've learned from social media trainings in the past. So it's completely up to you, of course, what you do with negative comments. It's your page. It's your content. It's your video. It's your post. I would say the vast majority of the time, take the high road, don't respond, and just delete it. There's the flip side of, as long as it wasn't something horrendous that just shouldn't exist on anyone's page, it's engagement. It gives your content, according to the algorithm, a little boost. And then if you respond, that's another comment. That's a conversation starting to happen. So it's up to you what you want to do. But I would say tread carefully. That's why I always take a breath if I am going to bother responding to something that even seems a little bit negative. Like I've had, occasional ones here and there where it wasn't anything real troll-ish or mean. It was just something slightly negative. Take a breath, and as I always say about everything else, do your best to respond from a place that's sourced with love. That doesn't mean that you have to make yourself a doormat, that you need to start apologizing or trying to over-explain yourself by any means, or trying to rationalize anything. Is it something that you can respond with kindly and quickly? A short sentence, a couple words, and you can just leave it at that. Versus what my second response was going to be, which was a couple paragraphs long. Which I think was still kind. I wasn't going off or anything. But yeah, I knew as I was typing that long one, I'm like, I shouldn't even bother doing this. But I'm like, I still want to, because I was going to leave the comments. So I wanted the full perspective to be up there. That was my logic at the time. But you want to be careful with how you engage, because if anyone else does look back, you first of all don't want to leave the impression that you're going to engage in arguments or attack somebody who thinks differently than you. I think it should be shown that you can maintain your confidence, that you can respond kindly and with love and professionally. You just want to be cautious if you do choose to respond. I did decide in the end to just delete it all, because in the end, as one of the friends that I had messaged said back exactly what I had actually been thinking in the beginning. She's like, you're not here for that energy. Next time you block them first. So, what kind of energy do you want around your content? You have every right to not engage and to delete. So, the advice that you might have heard a lot is don't feed the trolls. And even though I just gave you some guidelines of how you could respond and how I tried to respond, I think the best response is no response. At least delete. Up to you if you feel you need to block. And if you do, nothing wrong with that. Your page, your energy, and that person is obviously not your people. Not meant to be part of your community, not meant to be one of your potential clients, just someone who's hanging around with negative energy, trying to drag you down, trying to drag other people down. If they want to have their opinion, let them. But you don't have to let them leave it on your page. And then cleanse your energy. So when I found my brain still going around, I almost recorded this episode right after it happened. Cleanse your energy. There is a way that I've tried to describe on here, but you probably need to see on videos. Maybe I'll record a video about it. I don't know. But you basically wave your hands over and through your aura, like over your head. Then you wipe energy away from your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your ears, your throat, your heart, your stomach, and your back, your lower back. And it's basically like waving away energy from, anything that you have seen or smelled or heard or said or didn't say. It's a whole thing, but you don't need to know specifically in words what it all is. Just wipe that energy away. Like you're literally shaking off, peeling away that energy, flicking it away, getting rid of it. And let me tell you, that helped. Because like I said, in years prior, my brain would have kept going about that for days on end, probably unable to sleep for at least a night or two on top of it. And first of all, the work that I've been doing, mindset shifts, meditation, Reiki, taking action, doing the thing that I want to do, working on building my business, actually taking steps, getting clients, that all helps. Because now I have evidence that what I think of myself is true. I am a good person. I do know what I'm doing. I do have plenty to learn, but that doesn't mean I don't know what I'm doing right now. Or that I'm not qualified. So shake that energy off. And last thing, what was kind of neat, what happened right away, and I think it was a way of concluding the message, like, hey, okay, here's your lesson that you asked for. Here's something for you to share about so that you have personal evidence to share about dealing with negativity. Literally a few minutes later on Facebook, I got another notification. This was right after the first comment, that someone else followed me from my reel. Now, unfortunately, it won't show me in any way, shape, or form what reel it was that this person followed me from. I can't figure out how to see that, if it even shows you. It would have been awesome to know if it was that specific reel. But there you go. It's going to balance out. There are plenty, and probably plenty more, people who resonate with you and who will want to follow you and work with you and just be in your energy than there are trolls out there who might show up. So don't feed the trolls. Don't focus on the trolls. Cleanse your energy. Protect your energy going into whatever you post. I'm really thinking, I've brought it up before, I think I should do like my own version of a cleansing and protection masterclass and show you a lot of these things that you can do. And it might be a little bit because I want to do a better job of putting it into practice more in my own daily life than I do before I do a whole thing on it. But that's coming down the road. I think I will do that. So don't let the trolls stop you. Don't let the idea of trolls stop you. Just start taking action. Do the work. Schedule a Reiki session with me. Go do a meditation. Learn how to protect your space, your energy, and have some people that you can vent to if something does get to you. If someone does show up and you need to talk about it, have someone that you can go to who will help you shake it off rather than feeding into the energy. So, all right, that is where I need to wrap it up. And quick to let you know again that the Energy Club membership is open. There are 3 different tiers that you can choose from. Our first group session will be coming up in a couple of weeks in the first half of April. So get yourself signed up and I will let you know ASAP when the first session is going to be. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. You can reach out by DM or hop into the Energy Within Facebook group. If you enjoyed this episode, if you found it helpful, please share it. If you share it to Instagram, please tag me at I am Carrie Jokala. And hey, you know what? Go leave some positive energy on my reels. If you enjoyed the show, it would be extremely helpful if you were willing to leave a 5-star rating and a positive review for the show, especially in iTunes, because that is what helps to bump it up so that more people see it. That is where I will leave it. I gotta bring my groceries in because ironically I was just grocery shopping again now. And so I gotta get everything in the house. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you next time.